This little selfie light is awesome.
All right, everybody. Hey, we're live. It's Matt with Other Side of the Selfie. I got Waco Richards on the line with me today. Excited. We missed last week. I hope everybody had a wonderful Easter. So we took off a week for that, and now we're back. So we are excited to get back here. And just for those who might be joining as a first time, Other Side of the Selfie is all about husbands, boyfriends, significant others who are trying to do their best to support their wives or girlfriends or significant others in their line of business, mostly in the direct sales, multi-level marketing, that kind of thing. So I like to have guests on here that are specifically either married to or engaged to or boyfriend of or whatever, but really trying to see it specifically from the other side of the selfie, literally. So I got Waco. Waco's from down in Texas. I'm a Texan myself, from Dallas originally, so we'll have a little bit of hopefully my accent won't come out too much as we as we talk. But thrilled to have you. So Waco, why don't you start out? Give me a little bit of background, who you are, who's your wife, you got any kids, how long you been in network marketing? Just give us a quick little background about who you guys are.
Waco Richards. My wife is Julie Golson Richards. She is a unique presenter, has been for 3.5 years. No kids. I'm the kid right here, this dude. And we just try to live epic life.
Yeah, nice shirt.
So,
hey, where'd you get that shirt, Waco?
My wife found it at this awesome website for people of the direct sales line of business. Can't think of it off the top of my head. Why don't you do a shameless plug?
Yeah, Rhino Shirts, RHNO shirts.com. Yes.
RHNO, there you go. Perfect. So
wonderful shirt.
She's a unique blue status presenter, if I'm correct. I believe it's blue.
Awesome.
She's awesome. Like I said, no kids, just us two, and just living life, man. Trying to do everything we can do to be good people and share great products and great lives and God's love and everything.
Awesome. And you're in Texas. Tell me exactly where, or tell the viewers where exactly in Texas you might be.
If you go to Google Earth and you can find Midland, Texas, then you scroll down about an hour or 55 miles and you can find Rankin, Texas. Rankin, Texas, Rankin. We are 55 miles south of Midland.
Okay.
So very good. When we go to the grocery store, it's a 120, 130 mile round trip.
That's insane. So do you actually go to Midland to go to the store?
Yes, absolutely. For anything. Now, we've got a gas station here in town, and we've got a little grocery store for things you got to have right now. But when you make a grocery run once a week or once every other week, you're going all the way up there and all the way back.
That is crazy. That's crazy. And you just mentioned about your living situation. You're in the process of getting a new place and currently living with in-laws, and so I won't make you say anything to incriminate yourself.
That's why I'm in the truck. This is my now quite literally. This is my office. I work in the oil field for a great company, and I have a cubicle in a building that I don't spend much time in, and then I have an office on 4 wheels, and it has everything I need from extra clothes and cold clothes. So apologize to everybody. I'm coming from the truck, but this is my office. Yes, we live with our in-laws until my house gets built. And so as you know, we had a struggle trying to get connected earlier because we got all these people on one Wi-Fi. And
yeah. That's awesome. Well, that's why we do testing. So that's all good.
You're the man.
Yeah, cool. Well, so give us a little bit of background. When your wife first got going into this kind of thing, tell us a little bit about what that looked like from your perspective. I know you said it's been a few years, but tell us kind of how that got going.
Well, now first, prior to the current company she's with, which is Unique, she did another network marketing or direct sales, however y'all like to refer to it, with another company that she did really well with. But when we moved out here, she didn't feel the family that she didn't feel what she feels with the company she's with now. I mean, it was just kind of it was a very expensive product. She did very good at selling it. We have great people, lots of people out here in the oil business that have lots of money that she could have sold that to, but she just didn't. It didn't feel right to her. She didn't have the heart for it. She's got the heart for Unique, let me tell you that. But so she did that, and then 3.5 years ago, she started with Unique. And as we were talking before about my little story was, when she started out, it was just another, I thought, okay, this is another network marketing, direct sales company that she can do. As she quit doing the other one, and I wouldn't say I wasn't supportive, but I wasn't supporting, say it that way. And it wasn't anti-support. It was just that she didn't let me, and she says this herself, I didn't really let you into the business. And so I didn't have really, unless I went out on my own to, hey, tell me more about this. And as husbands are, and not all of them, but most husbands are on the surface, at first, unless you really bring us into it, we're busy, we've got work, we've got things we want to do. When we get off work, we want to do nothing. And so I didn't go out on my own to figure out what's this company all about. And she didn't really let me know about it. And so first I was just really neutral in support. At that time, we only lived 30 miles south of Midland, and we literally had no cell phone service at our house. It was very, very spotty. And the only internet we could get at our house was satellite internet, which is very spotty. It is worse than cell phone plans. We could get 10 gigs a month of usage, and after that, it was hard throttle. You were just crawling.
Really?
And as you know, and anybody else that watches this knows, you got to have some sort of connectivity if you're going to have a direct sales, network marketing, work from home. You got to have internet.
Right, something,
So she used to have to record a video, and this was really before lives got going and these live apps. So she would have to record a video, hop in the car, drive about 15 miles north of the house, upload it, and then drive back. And that's whatever time of the day she did that video. I mean, it might be 8 o'clock in the morning, it might be 8 o'clock at night, midnight, anywhere in there. So that was, and so in the beginning, it was kind of inconvenient to me. I'm thinking, God, you're really busting your butt just to, whatever. And so it was kind of like I said, it's not that I wasn't supportive. I wasn't actively supporting.
Right. And what was it then that as you kind of got involved, and this is where, so just as kind of as a background of how I met Waco, we haven't officially met in person yet, but through the Husbands of Unique Facebook page, somebody had posted something. I think somebody that was at an event where you guys were at, and saw kind of just a real short 3 or 4 minute video of you kind of telling your story about, how it started to make an impact on you, certainly specific to Unique, but also just this particular opportunity kind of came in and made a difference for you. So if you don't mind, I know you won't be able to tell exactly, and that's no problem, but just kind of give us a little bit of the background of kind of what got you to that place where you were kind of full on board.
So continuing from where I was just at, so that was the beginning. And then for guys that, let me ask you a question real quick. And I know you said this earlier. This is kind of geared towards significant others supporting their significant others, correct?
Correct.
So what really kicks that off that I've seen for myself and guys in the Husbands of Unique or other guys that I know in other businesses, and one of my employees, he and his wife do another direct sales deal, and he was kind of the same way I was. It really didn't kick him in the rear end until he went to a big event, whether it was some type of training or incentive trip or whatever. And we had gone to the Chicago convention in Chicago, and I don't remember how many years ago that was. It was 2 years, I think.
Yeah, I think 2 years. Yeah.
2 years ago. So, Julie's grandpa was in real bad health at that time, and he told her, "Hey, no." He was always real supportive, and he said, you go do this thing, and you just rock it. So we flew on up there. We had lots of plans. We were going to do convention, and I was going to get to meet all these other husbands of Unique and go do this and get to see, firsthand how awesome this deal is. We got up there a day early. We went and ran and did a bunch of the sightseeing stuff. Went to the Sears Tower, which I think it's changed names now, and we went out and saw the pier and this and that. Got to go do a running around. Went back to the hotel and said, "All right, let's go to bed early. Let's get some sleep. Tomorrow's going to be a long day. We're going to learn a lot of stuff. It's going to be great." And get up in the morning. We're getting ready, and the phone rings, and they said, "Hey, Pop passed away." And it was like, oh man,
yeah,
it just
hard.
wind out of the sails. And
Right.
so Unique was so awesome. We went and told them what happened. They said, "Okay, here's all the swag you'll get at this event." And we had a box of journals that we were donating. Everybody was donating to the Unique Foundation. So the people who attend the Unique Foundation's retreat can use these. And then we got on a plane. We headed home.
Wow.
So another year goes by, and I'm still just kind of, riding that line of support, not support, just kind of, I would go to town. Hey, can you take this bag of makeup to this person? And I'm like, yeah, I'll take his bag.
Yeah.
It wasn't, and just kind of riding that line. And she made the cruise 2 years ago, and she said, "We're going to go on this cruise. This is the first real big thing with Unique I got to do." And let me tell you what, I went to it. I saw these people crazy about makeup, crazy about this Unique lifestyle, and I'm thinking, okay, all right, cool, just kind of feeling it out. But I got on that cruise. I saw Derek's story, and after seeing Derek's story, and I didn't realize up to this point what Unique was started for. I thought it was at this point, I thought it was somebody who had a great product that wanted to sell it and make some money. I didn't realize they created this great product to make money to support this foundation, which helps rehabilitate and give value and lift up these people who have been victims of sexual abuse. And so at that point, I was like, oh, this is for real. I mean, this isn't just somebody's making money to put in their pocket. This is a mission-based company. It was started to support this foundation. I'm like, that hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
And boy, by the time I got off that cruise, I was bleeding purple, man.
Right.
I was just bleeding purple. So
that's awesome.
After that, man, it was, I will take this makeup. I will do this delivery. I will go to the post office every day and bring home these cardboard boxes that I hate cardboard boxes. Man, they just, it's like nails on a chalkboard to me.
Yeah,
but
that's funny.
I support her in this company and in her journey with Unique. And so, I mean, that one event, and that's why I tell everybody, if you can get to a convention, if you can get to a Unified, if you can get to a incentive trip, do it. It will change your life.
I agree. And I think, very similar. And those who've been on the show and watched it before have heard a little bit of my story too, but it's the same, I was neutral in her getting involved and stuff like that, but it definitely started to make a difference once I realized, and I went on that first cruise as well. And I was the year before that. So I was we just did our third trip this past October. So the cruise before the one you were on.
Right.
And it was, and that was my first chance to hear Derek's story and to get the details and start getting involved in meeting other people in the company and things like that. And I think that really does, again, no matter what kind of multi-level marketing, direct sales, or whatever you might be in, I think there always is that type of connection happens at an event like that, right? And with Unique, obviously, you and I, we have connections on that side, and so we know that particular story. But I'm sure that there are other companies that just kind of have that ability to get people excited and motivated. And once you hear, the why or the passion or the purpose or whatever it is that's going on there, I think that getting experience with that and not just you as the person in it. And that's where I think, like you said, having the husband come along or the boyfriend or whatever come along and be a part of that, I think it makes a huge difference. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the other side real quick was, Julie and I are musicians and we've done this music thing together for a long time. And she was watching a video of some ladies doing a live video, and I was setting up for a show. She was in the car. I was outside setting up, and it was hot. I was watching this storm approach, and storms make musicians nervous, especially when you're playing an outside show, because you're
Sure.
thinking, okay, I don't want to not set up because I need to get paid, but I also don't want to ruin my equipment with that storm. And
Right.
so I'm busting butt, and it's hot and sweaty right before a storm hits, and it's humid, and I'm going, oh. And Judy goes, hey, can you do me a favor? And I'm like, what do you need, babe? She said, these girls asked us to play a song. And I'm thinking, I've never, this is what makes me a bad musician. I never want to force my music down other people's throat. I'm not in their ears. I love sharing music, but I don't want to like, all right, you're going to listen to me play this song right now. Here it goes. And so she's like, hey, could you play a song? I'm like, no, they don't want to hear. She goes, no, they want to hear us. And I said, all right, reluctantly. And so I said, we'll get on here. And we did it from the car. And we started this little From the Car series, and it was really difficult. And so we got in the car and made a few songs and played a few songs and then shared it. And then one of the Black status leaders shared it, and another one shared it, and another one shared it.
That's cool.
And the next thing you know, I don't know how many thousand views it got, and all these people watched it. But the most important thing was it made a very good friend of ours, Sherry Brown, her husband had seen it, and he's a guitar player, and he hadn't played his guitar in like 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And after seeing that, he went and picked up his guitar and started playing. And that, I thought, man, not that somebody got to hear me, but that I got to inspire someone to pick up a guitar again.
That's cool.
And so that all the support, and the support for her and the support for me in this company, we're uplifting, empowering, and validating it. Man, I don't see how everybody's not a presenter just because it's such a great atmosphere and great environment to be in.
Yeah, I agree. That's cool. That's a really cool story. I've met Sherry myself. That's cool. She's a wonderful woman and fun and all that good stuff too. So it's funny how everybody's connected, it seems like.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the music side. How does that play in, and have you done anything more? It sounds like you've done some stuff, and then I did see some sort of event that you did recently for your birthday or something like that.
Oh no, that's coming up. That's coming up. So
okay.
we used to play a lot, and we would play 2 to 3 times a week in Midland. So I'm telling you, once again, 50 miles away. So I would work all day, get off work, change clothes, drive to Midland, play from 9 to 11, tear down, drive home, get home at midnight. Then I would go to sleep and get up again the next morning at 5 o'clock in the morning to go work in an oil field.
Yeah.
You do that 2 or 3 times a week, and you start playing that driving home game that, I'm awake. And it got unsafe. So that's one reason we kind of backed it off a little bit. And then Julie's had a lot of health issues with her degenerative disc disease, and then they put her on a chemo treatment for an autoimmune disease, which after we started that, found out that she didn't need that, and that gave her an autoimmune disease. No, that was for her autoimmune disease.
Okay.
And then that caused other problems, so that's another reason we backed it down. But on the light side, so I didn't want to shove my music in anybody's ears, but Julie we're going to take a guitar. And so on that cruise, she goes, we're taking a guitar, and my guitars are my children.
Yeah.
And I really don't want to take my guitar. We're taking a guitar. Yes, ma'am. So we took a guitar on the cruise, and I didn't want to play for people, and she's saying, these people want to hear us. And I said, okay, so we start playing, and then we start playing it. We play on this deck, and then we play on this deck, and then we play on this deck, and then we play here. And before it was all over with, we got set up to play in the grand atrium there, where you come into the ship on the stage with mics and speakers, and everybody's joined around. It was a good time.
That's really cool.
We got Stephanie Zeligman up there to sing. Her husband is Dean Z. Just go look at the Dean Z show. That dude is awesome. And she is awesome. She sang with us. Everybody sang with us. And so it's kind of become one of those, okay, well, we're going on this trip, or we're going to convention now. Are you bringing a guitar? Yes, I'm bringing a guitar.
Well, I hate that I missed that. I'll have to catch that next time. That's good.
If you're coming to San Antonio, I'm bringing a guitar. And I think now everybody's bringing guitars. So
right. Well, that's cool. We'll have the unique, whether it's husbands or whatever, have the husband's unique band or something.
Absolutely. Have a jam around. Then my birthday party next month, that's on my birthday's the 2nd, but May 5th, we're doing my annual birthday bash. We'll try to set up a phone for live and share it to some pages. So if you want to show up and listen, show up and listen.
That's cool. Very cool. So tell me a little bit. I know you just mentioned a little bit about some of the health issues and things like that. And what are some other challenges, whether it's that specifically or other things maybe that you guys have been through, either you seeing it from the outside or maybe that she's gone through that you've seen, and then what have you done to help get through some of those hard times, I guess?
She, like I said, she's got and Julie, I know you're watching, so you better message me right now if there's something you don't want me to say not on my work phone, on my company, on my personal phone. But she's had, she's got the degenerative disc disease and had an autoimmune disease pop up here lately, and grew up with mitral valve prolapse, which is a heart issue, and she's always, I won't say that one until she corrects me, but it's something about she has the signs of that she could have lupus, but she doesn't have the markers or something like that. But we try not to let that interfere with us as much as we can. I'm her support system. Her mom is a big support system. I only get so many days off of work for vacation or sick time. And so there's a lot of appointments I'll take her to, but then there's times when I can't go because I still actually have to work. So her mom will take her to these appointments across the country, across the state. Getting from here to Houston is a good 8-hour trip, and she's made lots of them. So,
wow.
It will impede our abilities, but we try not to let it. And I do try to do everything I can to be supportive and help her out. Of course, I ain't perfect, so I apologize, Julie, but I'm doing my best that I can. And awesome. But that slows her down a little bit, but she didn't let it slow her down for long, because she will. I'll constantly wake up in the middle of the night or right when my alarm goes off at 4:45 in the morning, and there's still that glow from the other side of the bed, and she's sitting there working,
Wow.
And she will work all night long.
Yeah. So dedicated. Sounds like she's pretty passionate about what this is. How do you think, where did you see that once she made this switch? I know you said earlier about kind of she didn't quite have the connection with this other company, but once she moved into here where she did, what was that? How did you see? What kind of changed, or what kind of impact did you see on?
Hey. She's come walking out because I might have said something wrong.
Just a little. Mom and I are in there cracking up.
Okay, her mom and her are laughing at me because I'm saying wrong stuff.
Lost.
Well, I'm a little nervous here because
he's doing great.
A little nervous. He says I'm doing great.
You are doing great. You're doing awesome.
Okay, what do you want to correct?
Well, I was just gonna say he got the degenerative disc disease right. I've had that for years. That's just something that's happening.
Got it.
Right before the cruise, I got an announcement that I had an autoimmune disease that would take my ears. And as a vocalist, that's a little scary.
Yeah, right.
So that's all that was. That was where the cruise and the music started, we were going on that thing. I just started chemo like the day before we got on. And we were going to share our music. I was going to sing until my ears went.
Neat.
And we were going to do it with Sherry Brown.
Yeah.
It was about getting her up there, getting her to sing. So that's where that all came from.
And I saw you posted posted a comment here about, that it was about blessing other people and making people feel good. It
absolutely was.
Which is cool.
That's all it was. When we started the lives, Waco, he was hesitant until he started getting messages that were saying, "You're helping me. This is awesome. You just made my day. Like, I didn't want to get out of bed, and now I'm singing y'all songs." And awesome. That brightens people's spirits, so it makes us happy. And that's why we do what we do, because he hates to be on camera. Like, hates it. He's nervous right now.
I know. Yeah, but he's doing great. And I know I saw him whenever you put him on the spot at that event a couple months ago. Yep. That's how I first got connected, or maybe it was a month or two, or whenever it was. But he's doing awesome, so that's good. But
he's doing really good. But that's all it was. That then brought on, all the treatments brought on a lot more, and it was a matter of him keeping me going by saying, I'll take that makeup. Dude, you're doing great. You look beautiful. Just all those little things added up. And that's really where the health, regardless if they were issues, that's what our story was about, is that there's no obstacles. Obstacles are just a part of your journey. They don't become roadblocks. They're a part of your path.
That's awesome.
And he jumped in on that path with me and just went for it. Like, he is just running. I'm really tempted to make him a co-presenter with me.
Ah, there you go.
I'm going to hand it back.
Very good. Thanks.
See, so she won't let much keep her down, so she wanted to come out here and
that's outstanding.
And that's good. Well, yeah, so you didn't just get me, and I'm sorry.
No, that's wonderful.
First I'm glad you got her too.
Yeah, that was great to hear. That was really good to hear.
I can't be the only gorgeous one on here. She goes, "Oh yeah, you're smooth."
Yeah, good catch. Good catch. No, that's cool. So yeah, I mean, as far as like, what did you see? How did you see her change personality wise? Right. I mean, was there confidence? Was there outgoing? Was it, things like that you may have seen her? Has she always been just this outgoing, creative personality?
Yeah, she's always been outgoing and definitely creative. But I think after working within Unique and seeing how some of the other ladies work and seeing the positive difference she can make in other people's lives, whether it's helping them feel more beautiful, which Unique has said lately, they're a beauty company, not a makeup company, about making people feel beautiful. So that has definitely given a shot of adrenaline into her confidence and her outgoingness. And, and she, like I said, she does everything she can not to let the health stuff keep her down. And so I think really after being in this so much, it's kind of made up for anything that would have knocked her down a little bit.
Yeah. So I know based on your personality a little bit, and even what she just said was, you're not crazy about this kind of stuff, right? About doing lives for her or, those kind of things. So tell me some of the things that maybe you do behind the scenes. Obviously you talked about delivering makeup and things like that, but tell me some of the other things maybe that you might do to support her and what she's doing.
Well, let me start with it's not that I don't love these things. I'm a very attention to detail kind of person. And so what my obstacle is, even though she says that's part of your journey, is I don't want to say anything wrong, because sometimes, there's a lot going on in here. I tell her, I say, babe, you got to realize there's not much room left up in here. It's full of guitar chords and music lyrics. So I don't have a whole lot of ability to store much else. And every time I learn a new song, I forget something else.
That's funny.
My hesitation is, I don't want to say something wrong or say something incorrect. And, I don't mind being on camera. I'm a musician. We like to be seen. We like to be heard. But, I'm like, well, and now before this, I'm like, all right, let's sit down and let's go over this so I can make sure I get stuff right. But then I don't know why, because I just forget it, But
that happened.
So in our little town of 800 people, I have started memorizing where a lot of their houses are, because that's like my repeat deliveries.
Yep.
Right down here, I've got two right across each other on Severn Street, and I've got one over here on Elizabeth, so number one, that's my main deal is making deliveries for her and picking up, trying to get to the post office before they close, because there's always a box there that they can't fit in the post office box. And so deliveries, picking up stuff. And then at home, her parents have this really awesome, very thick walled Adobe style house. So Wi-Fi does not get to our room. So
got it.
I've got some technical abilities, information technology wise. Like I said, I've got a music and video degree. And so I was like, how do we get Wi-Fi back there? Well, I started picking the brain of a guy at work. He's like, oh, well, just make a bridge. And I was like, what are you talking?
Yeah.
Learned what a bridge was. So now I had to run, once again, these thick walls. You can't just run cables through them. So I had to come from the router, up the wall, out the window, across the roof, down the wall. And I set up. So long story to answer your short question was, anything I could do to help her business, making sure she's got internet, which, so internet, deliveries, all that stuff, internet, driving her, the spring fling, the video you saw, we could have flown up there, but if you ever fly, and then this is for anybody watching this or anybody that will watch this, if you're ever flying Midland, and it's not an international airport anymore, it's the Midland International Spaceport. Because we have SpaceX out here building rockets for commercial flights. So we are an international spaceport. Awesome. It is the most expensive airport you will fly into in the United States because it's all the oil money.
Yeah, interesting.
And so instead of flying up there, we just decided, let's just drive, So I'll drive her to a lot of these events.
Right.
Cool. Well, if I can get there. So
yeah,
that's one way, just logistics.
Yep. And I mean, that's all good stuff too. And it sounds like too, from what you're saying, also from what you just said, is just from a mental and compassionate support standpoint. I mean, it sounds like you give her moral support, and I think that's always a big deal.
That's about it. And muscular support.
Always wearing a good shirt too. That's what makes it.
Yeah,
makes you do your job that much. Makes you do your job that much better.
I got the other one. I got one of the other ones you made too. Which one was it? The supporting my wife's makeup business since she told me to, or
Yes,
but somebody else had worn that and puzzled. I'm like, well, I can't do that one. Oh, I have this one. I'll wear this one.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. Thanks for the support. Yeah.
No, hey man, that's one of the things that's hard is finding cool T-shirts like that to wear. That are, what do you call it? Network marketing, direct sales.
Yeah, kind of start a conversation. Yeah, I had one on the other day. I have one that says my wife's a freaking lash boss, and I was in the bank the other day, and one of the women behind the thing said, "Oh, they kind of laughed, said, that's a fun shirt," and I said, "Well, my wife, this is what she does," and talked a little about, and oh yeah, I know about Unique and this kind of thing. So it's one thing I haven't talked about, and she's sitting here with me, but I need to get business cards of hers so that when somebody does ask about it, that I'm able to then say, well, hey, check this out, whatever. I'd mention it, and I can tell them her website and that kind of thing, but it would be a lot easier if there was something to hand out.
One of the things. That's one of the things I didn't. You saying that reminded me. One of the things I do at the office is I will take makeup to ladies at the office, but I'm also pushing on the ladies. I'm like, hey, did you see this new product we got?
Nice.
And then there's a lady that, and she's the sweetest. She says I'm one of her favorite non-birth children because I'm a favorite child of hers, but she didn't have to birth me. So that kind of bumps me up a little more.
Yeah.
So I told her, I said, hey, and she is such a beautiful lady. She takes care of her skin. We were talking about skincare. One of the things at Spring Fling that we were at, one of the ladies said, do you have a skincare routine? And everybody kind of like, she goes, well, then your answer is no, because either you do or you don't. It's not a maybe. And so I was talking to her and she goes, oh, absolutely. She said, it doesn't matter how tired I am, if I've worked all day, if I've been sweating or whatever, or if I'm, had too many drinks. She goes, I always make sure I take my makeup off and wash my face. And I said, hey, have you ever thought about sharing beauty with other people? You could join my wife's team and you could provide that. And she goes, honey, I did makeup sales for 20 years or whatever. And I said, really? Who's that? And she said the name. It was like Beauty Control or something like that. And they just closed. She said, and when they were closing, I bought all this stuff. She goes, so when I run out, I will definitely come talk to your wife.
That's
and
awesome.
I said, well, do so. So I'm trying to push on
that's
too.
Great.
Hey, Mark, you should join my wife's team. You would be so good at doing this.
That's awesome. That is good. Cool. We're going to wrap up here. I got one more question for you. If you were to be sitting across the table or whatever from somebody that was potentially going into this as a spouse of or significant other of someone who was considering going into network marketing, what would be kind of that nugget of something that you might share with them, but they don't know now what you would, I guess maybe what you wish somebody would have told you 3.5 years ago, whenever Julie started, that you wish somebody told you that you would tell them now, like a piece of nugget that somebody could walk away with and feel good to know something new.
I'd have to go back to the support thing. And it's so simple. It's such a simple thought process and such a simple task. It's something so simple to do is just support them, but you won't ever see the benefits of it until, number one, you do it, or you see somebody else that supported their wife, or significant other, whichever way you're going with it.
Yeah.
After doing it, number one, seeing it from like friends like Kai and Heidi Boss, great friends of ours, we love them. One of the big ones, Jonathan Brancato and Jonathan Blodgett, both of those three guys for sure, but two of them. One of the things I was so impressed with when we went to Spring Fling was that Jonathan Blodgett, he all of the girls that came into that Spring Fling training that were on his wife's team, he knew every single one of their names.
Wow.
And there was a lot of them. And I was like, whoa, dude, I am impressed.
Yeah.
And he knew all this stuff about his wife's back office on. And so it was very inspiring to me to see. And I didn't see immediately the difference that made, but after talking to him and Cindy Brancato and Jonathan Brancato, after talking to them, Jonathan does the same thing. Jonathan does a lot of the stuff for Cindy. It was very impressive to me, and I can see just by looking at them and talking to them how much that boosted his wife's confidence, his wife's abilities, or either one of them, boosted their business. And so, cool. I mean, it was like, wow, that's crazy that, all these girls' names. My wife's got a few girls on her team, and I think I can tell you one or two of their names, Yeah. And so I thought, I am not doing my part. That's great. It's not a requirement, but I just felt, man, I am not doing my part.
Yeah.
And so if I could tell anybody anything sitting here right now is number one, talk to your wife about her business and learn about it, and not just like, hey, tell me about this. And then you kind of be paying attention to the road and the TV. Yeah. I mean, like, pay attention and learn this stuff and then provide that support. Does she need something picked up? Does she need something taken somewhere? Does she need your help with stuff around the house? I am the laundry king. Number one, because I'm OCD and I say my wife doesn't do it correctly, but I know how much that helps her out, and so, stuff around the house, taking care of kids while she's working. I know a few people offhand that'll tell you that is number one right there.
Right. Yeah.
And I've seen some presenters that are high on the scale of presenter, color wise, and not helping take care of the kids at all. And they're trying to do their video. Okay, girls, do this right here. And then you see a kid, wow, and screaming. And I'm thinking, man, and I'm not judging anybody, but man, how much more could she do if you were helping support?
Right.
Or how much more could he do, because there's other direct sales companies that, a husband is a presenter and the wife's not, or however.
Right.
I know it's probably cliche and it sounds like the easiest answer, but there's so much more to just support than just, yes, I support you by saying, yes, you can do this, or I give you some money to go buy some product or whatever. There's a lot more to support that can be learned and done that will actually support.
I love it. Yeah.
Did that make any sense at all?
It did. Yeah, no, totally.
I'm kind of, there's sometimes
You're good.
Like,
You're getting lost in that music brain.
Yeah. I mean to tell you, you have no idea.
No, it was really good. And I think it's right. I think that's a huge piece. And I think when we don't know what we don't know, and until you start to ask and try to make an effort yourself, at least for a lot of them, I think it's not a natural thing for them to say, hey, could you do this for me? Or I would help if you did this, or let me tell you more about this thing, or, that kind of stuff. So I think if you can be proactive as the the husband, boyfriend, whatever, significant other, and try to ask more and see what you can do, even if it's the little things. The little things count, and if that's all she wants you involved in, then that's cool. But if she wants you involved more and you can ask, then that's great
absolutely.
Too.
Yeah, don't force your way in. But I can guarantee you, there's not many of them that'll say no. I don't want you to know about this.
Very good point. Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you joining. For those that are watching, we appreciate it. Be sure to share, like, all that fun stuff, and pass this on, especially if you're in multi-level marketing, direct sales, anything like that, whether you're unique or otherwise. What we're trying to do here is to support our spouses, support our wives, and where they're out and what they need. So as Waco kind of finished up there, I think one of the biggest things that we're all about as a show here at Other Side of the Selfie is all about trying to offer support. That's my wife says she loves your name.
Loves my name. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
that's one of the things we've done is travel all over the world and go to Starbucks, and they say, "What's the name for your order?" And I'll say Waco, and see how it gets spelled. I've got people in the state of Texas that cannot spell my name.
That's funny.
And then I can go across the country, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, WACO, right?"
Yeah. Well, you got Chip and Joanna helping you out a little bit.
That is. And the last time we drove into Waco, there was a big old billboard on the side of the road that had their picture on it. They were smiling, and it said, "We heart Waco." And I'm like, I need that.
They love me.
They love me. I'm like, that's how awesome. Yeah. So
awesome. Cool. Well, thank you. Yeah. Thanks, Waco. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah. Thanks for everything, and keep doing what you're doing, and wish both of you guys luck, and hopefully we'll connect here at one of these incentive trips or conferences or something like that sometime soon.
Absolutely. I thank you for having me, and thank you for doing this. Number one, doing this Other Side of the Selfie. I think that's great.
Thank you.
So
cool.
You're the man.
Thanks, dude. All right. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you later. Have a great Sunday evening and a good rest of the week. Thanks again, Waco. We'll talk soon.
Peace and love.
All right.